right, so number 1. What is true about negative 1.9 or negative 1 into 9/10 and negative 1.48 when plotted on a number line? So what's one true statement here, Dean? A. So negative 1.9 is to the left. It's further left because it's a bigger negative. What else? Joshua?
D.
D. It is closer to 0. And then there should be one more. Scott? F. So A, D, and F. Okay, so those are all the true statements, 3 of them. So number 2, which point on the number line below is the opposite of negative 2/3? So what would be the opposite of negative 2/3? Carson?
2/3.
2/3. So which point is at 2/3? C. Number 3. So what would be the least common denominator for 1/4, 5/3, and 7/9? What would be the least common denominator here, Maddox?
36.
36. Yeah, I had to double check myself. 36. Number 4. So it says place an X on the table to show whether each inequality is true or false. So we have negative 2.6 is less than negative 2.6. Okay, so you're probably going to need to change both of these to be decimals. So what I would do is divide 2 by 6. Well, that doesn't work, so you got to put a decimal and a 0. 6 goes into 20 3 times. And it's just going to keep repeating. So this is 0.3, so is negative 0.3 less than negative 2.6?
Yes.
No, that's a false statement. Remember, they're negative, so this one's closer to 0. Now we have negative 8/10 is less than the absolute value of negative 8/10. So this would be what here? Elizabeth?
True.
True. Absolute value makes this positive. It's a positive number. No matter what, positive is always bigger. Okay, 9/4 is greater than negative 9 4/10. Dean?
No.
That is true because this one's positive, this one's negative. Automatically, if it's negative and positive, the positive is always bigger. All right, number 5. The table below shows the elevation of 4 different landforms. Okay, so if sea level is at 0 feet, which landform has an elevation that is the farthest from sea level? So we want the farthest. It doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. Carson?
Lake Indigo.
Lake Indigo is the furthest away from 0. Even if it's negative, it still is the furthest away. Number 6, Miss Franco has 64 pencils and 48 erasers. She wants to put an equal number of pencils and erasers into boxes for her students. What is the greatest number of pencils or erasers Mrs. Franco can put in each box? So what are you finding here? What would you be finding here? Joshua?
The greatest number. The greatest. Wait.
Greatest common factor. Okay, so what's the greatest common factor of 64 and 48 then? Joshua?
8.
Not quite. Carson?
16.
Should be 16. 16 goes into both of them as well. We want the biggest. So 16 would be the biggest. All right, number 7, you're going to order these from greatest to least, not least to greatest. So the biggest numbers are going to go first. So since you have a couple of mixed numbers, I would make those fractions or decimals before you do anything. So we have negative 7.1. We need to make 72 and 5/6. So 5 divided by 6. Okay, that doesn't work, so we put a decimal. How many times 6 go into 50?
8 times.
8 times. That's 48. We get left with 2. Bring down another 0. How many times does 6 go into 20?
3 times.
So it's going to keep repeating. So that's just going to be that. So we're going to round. We're going to go ahead and put this as a 0. This is negative or 72.83, negative 72. And now this one is going to be repeating because it's 0.3 repeating. And then 72.25. So, which one is the greatest number? Carson?
72.83.
Okay, so the 72 and 5/6 goes first. What will we go next? Elizabeth?
72.25.
Next? Joshua?
Negative 71.1.
So the negative 71.1. Next? Dean?
Negative 71 and 1/3.
And the last one would be negative 72.
Oh, yeah.
So that's greatest to least. So make sure you're reading the directions. Any questions on the front page? All right, let's go to the back. Okay, number 8, they want you to plot 1/5 and negative 0.6 and their opposites on the number line. So if you look, they're going by fifths here. So I would make this a fraction to make it a little bit easier for you. So that's negative 6/10, which can be simplified to negative 3/5. So 1/5 would be right here. So the opposite would be right there. And then negative 3/5, or negative 0.6 is right there. So the positive one, the opposite, is over there. So the point and the opposite. Number 9, Corey runs every third day and swims every fourth day. If he runs and swims today, how many days will it be before Corey runs and swims again on the same day? So here we're finding what? What are you finding here? Least common multiple. So you're going to write those out. So 3 and 4 until you match one. So 3 times 1, 4 times 1. Times 2, times 2. So which one would it be, Dean? 12. 12 days. Okay, number 10. The table below records yesterday's high temperatures for 4 cities. Write the temperatures in order from coldest to warmest. So we're going least to greatest. So which one's the very least? Elizabeth. Negative 4.5. Next. Dean. Negative 1. Then we have what, Callie?
4.8.
And the last one would be 12. So least to greatest. Alright, while in flight, a hot air balloon decreases its elevation by 83 and 2/5 meters and then increases its elevation by 83 and 7/10 meters. Write an inequality to compare these. So, we have 83 and 2/5 compared to 83 and 7/10. So what I would do is I would change this one to be either a decimal or you can change this one to be a fraction. I would suggest changing this one to be a decimal because it's pretty easy. Because you can get to 10. So we times 2 times 2, you get 83 and 4/10, which is just 83.4. So, comparing these two numbers, 83.7 is greater than. That's how you would read that. And number 12, Mr. Lang stopped for gas before starting on a short road trip. The change in the amount of gas in his gas tank was 5.5 gallons. They want you to plot the change in the opposite. So, positive 5 and 5/10 would be this way. So that goes right there, and then the opposite goes right there. So, which statement about the plotted points on the number line is true? Elizabeth? B. Both points have an absolute value of 5.5. Any questions on this? All right, so test is tomorrow.